So welcome back, and I'm sure you've seen the first video about some of my experiences from working with ISPs. I'm going to talk a little bit about my first stint with a multinational, Airtel Nigeria. And I'm going to start the story with how I actually got the job. I've told the story many times, and in my course, Career Growth Strategies in Information Technology, which you might have found on Udemy. I was always out and about. I didn't want to sit in my father's house waiting for a job. So I basically would find something doing. Someone would refer me to someone, etc. On that day, I was working for someone in Ogun State, Nigeria, north of Lagos, where I was working with someone who was trying to start a telephony company. He would basically just give me transport money to come back home. On the way back, my last mile towards my house, I met a colleague who was working for Airtel, and she asked me whether I would like to join the company because she was leaving. So I basically sent her my CV. It was a Friday over the weekend. By Monday, I was called. And by the time I was called, I was wearing a jeans and t-shirt, the polo t-shirt, and I was in Victoria Land, some distance from Ikoyi, where the office of Airtel Nigeria was, the IT department. So I was worried about my dressing, etc. But eventually I got hired. I got hired as a service desk agent, and I started my career there in IT as a service desk agent in a small room in UDEMY, just right on top of, I think it was Chicken Republic that was on the ground floor. So the thought from there is my readiness with my CV. I mean, even during the interview, if I remember very correctly, I think I was asked questions like, what do you do now? What are you doing? And that's very important. I could tell them that I had done wireless networking. I could tell them that I was just working for someone who was opening up a company in Ogun State, because I was doing something. If you're a young person, you're starting out your career, and you find yourself without a job, you have to do something. It could be a volunteer role. It could be a role where you're not getting paid as much, but you get to exercise your skills. You get to build your career. It's critically important that you are busy doing something useful. Someone may ask, oh, how do I pay my transport to get to work? Or how do I do this or that? There is always a way if you look for a way. We can discuss that much deeper in your own specific scenario, but understand that one of the things you want to try to do in the growth of your career is basically be busy, be engaged, be doing something, be growing your skills, be honing your skills, so that the day of opportunity will meet you busy. I joined Airtel Nigeria in that context, and I began to learn how to take phone calls, right? And I want you to understand the significant switch that was happening here. Remember, I had been climbing masts, I had been installing radios, I had been configuring radios, I had been doing all sorts of things in my previous 1-2 roles that I had, pure technical stuff as a young person, even troubleshooting circuits of monitors and stuff. But now the job was take calls, know how to answer. Thank you for calling the service desk. My name is Kenneth Igiri. How may I help you? Being able to do that, being able to memorize the routes, memorize the service desk number, being able to ask the right questions and connect the requester with the core IT department, being able to do basic things like use BMC Remedy software to log tickets. So your capacity to diversify, to morph into something else, to embrace a new challenge in your learning is vital as you grow your career. Don't be too much emotionally attached to a role or too emotionally attached to an organization. Be ready to move. You see, I always say that every time you move in your career, you exude that impression that you are a valuable professional that everyone is looking for. For you to be able to move, you must be ready to morph. That is to change your personality from techie to non-techie, from non-techie to techie, from people-facing to machine-facing, from one knowledge to another. So your capacity to embrace learning, embrace change, have the right attitude to change is likely to open you up to greater accelerated growth in your career. Let me stop here for now and come back to you in a few minutes with more insights. Thank you.